Hello. We're going to be spinning some more of this absolutely gorgeous, um, what is it? Targi wool, bamboo viscose, and silk roving from Mountain Colors. Mountain Colors Incorporated. Sorry, hope I wasn't making you car sick. How are you doing, Baum and Maid? My weekend was really long. Um, Friday morning, I woke up kind of feeling like crap. And then Saturday, woke up feeling like crap and had the busiest day I've ever had without an additional person there to help because we had no idea that it was going to be that busy. Um, and then I came home and slept 14 hours and woke up this morning feeling a lot better. And today was absolutely dead. There were people wandering around town, but they weren't coming in. I have completed the cuff on my first Hermione sock. Did one repeat of. Oh, yeah, I feel. Well, I'm back to normal. Back to my normal. Um, One of my hips is bothering me a little bit, but um, I think in part, like, the season has changed. It's, went from, whatever the hell hot temperatures we were having to, like highs in the 60s this weekend, which I love, but it takes me a while to adjust to it. And until I adjust to it, everything's going to hurt. But yeah, 14 hours. And if the alarm had not gone off this morning, I would have slept longer. So apparently, I was a little sleep deprived, on top of the worst allergies I've ever had. Um, but our air quality has not been good. There's particulate in which I presume is, from the fires drifting over this way. So how are you? It's 73 outside. You have fall weather. We're supposed to get back up into the 70s by later this week. Yesterday morning, there were people around town wearing winter coats. It was 50 something when I went to work yesterday morning. I don't know. This is a little early for it to have gotten this cold. Okay, so if 73 is fall weather, what's winter weather? And she says there's a few days that we're supposed to hit the low 90s, but I feel like it's about a month or so early for us. Yeah, and I'm thinking that too. Um, and I'm wondering if it's because of the fires and all the crap in the air. She says winter is 50s and I freeze my cannolis off. Yeah, you probably wouldn't much like the teens or the single digits. You should come up and visit in the winter. Experience it. Actually, we could go to northern Michigan. I could show you the sights and the snow and the ice and the lake effect snow. That's even better. And she says, we've got a storm system coming through. It's nice, but it's moist. It's supposed to be mostly sunny here all week. And I was really surprised walking home this afternoon. I looked up and the sky was just clear and blue. It's like, where are all the chemtrails? We usually have chemtrails. So I finished spinning. I'm just starting on the second quarter, because I divided it in half and then one of the halves and halves again. What's on this bobbin is one of those quarters. I don't know if this whole 4 ounces is going to fit on here. So I may have to spin these two on this bobbin and then the rest on another bobbin to ply from. Bomba Maid said, not in winter. Have you seen Cool Runnings when they get to Calgary and um, and Sanka comes out of the airport wearing every bit of clothes he brought and the bag he brought them in? That would be me. Yes, I've seen that movie and I actually saw the Olympics where the Jamaican bobsled team competed, and everybody was like, "What? Jamaica?" But see, he had the right of it. You know, you want to dress in layers so that when you overheat, you can just take a layer off. I have a tendency to underdress for, for cold weather. Although, you know, for many years of hot flashes, that was fine. Yeah, when was that? I was still 86? Would 86? A 6 would be an Olympic year, wouldn't it? And that was back when they had the now see now I'm getting confused between how they used to do the Olympics and how they do them now. They would have the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics in alternate even years? Or is that how they do it now? No, I can't remember. Baba Maid said, that's the thing, I don't know how to layer. Not really. Here, layers are bad and you tend to wear as few articles of clothing as possible. For me, layering is like, you know, a regular t-shirt and then something with long sleeves and then a sweater or sweatshirt over that. And that's if I'm going to be indoors somewhere where it might be cold. And then for outdoors, over the top of that, like my parka has a zippered lining that is like a vest. That's like, you know, like a waterproof shell on the outside and polar fleece on the inside with some sort of batting in between. And then the parka shell with long sleeves doesn't have any insulated lining in the sleeves. But because, you know, you want to keep your core warm, so you know what the vest covers is the part that needs to be kept the warmest. And then, you know, a couple of pairs of, well, I used to always wear a pair of cheap stretchy gloves and then a pair of mittens over the top. But now that, you know, it only takes me like 3 to 5 minutes to walk home from work, I can just wear fingerless mitts if my hands are that cold. But I used to, you know, walking home, I'd wear when it was a 45-minute walking home, I would wear a polar fleece hat or a wool hat and a silk babushka scarf over my face. Bama Maid said 1988 is what Google tells me for that Olympics. In 88 I would have been in Michigan. And I was thinking that oh, okay. Yeah, I was still working in group homes though, so because I remember I worked midnights in group homes for a long time. And I remember watching the Olympics at night because wherever the Winter Olympics were, you know, perhaps the time difference was such. God, where would that have been? Would that have been Sarajevo? Does it say? Does Google tell you? She says, I'm reading the movie trivia now, and in 2015, Dougie Doug said he still had the lucky eggs. Yeah, I'm thinking that might have been Sarajevo, Because that would have been long enough before things went to hell there. I said, were those Winter Olympics in Sarajevo? Or am I confusing my years? It was a long time ago. I know that there were Winter Olympics in Sarajevo before things went to hell there. But I don't remember how long ago that was. 84. So was Sarajevo Summer Olympics or Winter Olympics? Okay, so Sarajevo was winter. That's what I thought. 88 Winter Olympics were in Calgary. Calgary was that long ago? Oh. It doesn't seem that long ago. How old was I in 88? So I would have been 28 in 1988. So I was... No, that can't be right. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I'm so confused. Yeah, I think that I have always paid more attention to the Winter Olympics than the summer. You stay there, ball of wool. Oh, so I started to say I finished the cuff of the Hermione socks, and I was all prepared to be pissy about the knit one, purl one ribbing, because I typically prefer knit to purl to, but it's okay. And I did, instead of launching directly into the heel, I did one repeat of the pattern stitch, and I think one repeat into the heel flap. But in looking at the pattern, I think I need to make my heel flap a lot longer. I don't think the pattern is gonna fit me right. Okay, she says the breakup of Yugoslavia and the siege of Sarajevo was from April 92 to February 96. Now, see, I don't remember that being that long of a time period either. Although 92, yeah, that feels about right. And when did the Berlin Wall fall, so to speak? You don't have to look that up. I'll look it up later. "1,425 days, the longest siege of a capital city in modern warfare. In the history of modern warfare." no, yeah, that's fine. I don't know if there's room in the sink. You might have to. Okay. Yeah, rinse them out real well. Bowie Maid said I was 3 when the Jamaicans went to Calgary, and 5 when the demolition of the Berlin Wall began, and 6 when it ended. Yeah, y'all make me feel old. She says, I had no idea any of this was going on at the time, but we moved out of the house by my grandparents and out to the country. Yeah, I moved from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, where I had gone to college, to Traverse City, which is when I talk about northern Michigan, that's where generally I'm talking about, in September of 1987. I was 27 years old. You get tooth fairy duty tonight. Which kid? Oh, Tiny Human's probably not losing teeth yet, is she? Oldest lost a tooth. Tiny hasn't lost her first tooth yet. Because I was going to say if it was her, maybe that would account for her disposition recently. So, did you get out of the house by yourself? Was that supposed to be today? Oh, no. But at least you got to go grab tortillas. And she says, but Husbeast did take Tiny outside for a few hours. It was bliss. You need a day at a spa. Get a massage, hang out in the hot tub. She says, but it was not during the time I took a shower, in which she was in and out of the bathroom or sitting right outside the door, scratching at it the entire time. Because she needs you. But only when, when you're trying to have a moment alone. Yep, I vote for spa day. Or at least spa several hours. She says, backstory, I don't use the master bath often. The second bath is right off the living room. I'm lazy and it has a bigger shower than the master anyway. The oldest was in the shower and I had to go. But oldest was in the shower and I had to go. So apparently, when I go use the master bath, it means I disappeared from existence on this earth and all hell breaks loose. I was gone 2 minutes, 3 tops. I've learned to go fast. Yeah, I just get followed in the bathroom by the cat. She wants to know what I'm doing and whether I'm planning to feed her. I think I want to get some more of this. Maybe in another colorway. Or enough of this colorway to make a sweater, but I'd have to take out a mortgage. So I'm almost finished with Wolf's Call, which I'm enjoying very much. And I'll probably finish that tonight, and then at some point tomorrow, hopefully I'll have a chance to get started on the next Hollows book. I wonder where everybody is tonight. Sunday nights are usually busy. Well, hopefully you'll like the smell better now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need to wash some of mine too. Mama Maid said, I'm mostly lurking. I could give you one of those little clips that go behind your head. I don't have any here, but I'll bring you one home from work. Or just make you one. Okay, don't leave them in the plastic bag or they'll stink. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah. Mama Maid said I was knitting earlier, halfway through a needle on a sock, and Husbeast realized he had burned lunch. So I had to fix it, because he doesn't seem to understand he can't just leave food cooking on the stove and then go lay in bed and it'll cook itself. Yeah, that is for sure. And she says, luckily it was carne, is that guisada? So the meat had a bit of char on it. What's carne guisada? Hey, Birding Mom. My weekend was long. And Saturday was overwhelmingly incredibly busy. After which I came home from work and slept for 14 hours. And then, well, like Friday morning, I had woken up. Have you ever been in a car accident where you weren't injured, but the car was totaled? But then the next day you feel like you were the one that was totaled? That's how I felt. Felt like I'd been totaled. And then, after sleeping for 14 hours yesterday after work, I feel remarkably better today. Oh, and, there were not any mask issues, and only 6 noses hanging out. So I was pleased. Okay, Mama Maid says guisada, like guitar. Basically stew meat in a spicy gravy. Okay, I know what carne asada is, because the housemate misses carne asada burritos very, very, very badly. I'm not really up on my Tex-Mex. So how are you doing, Birding Mom? What are you working on tonight, if anything? I was just telling Baum and Maid I have just started the heel on my first Hermione sock. And I thought maybe that I'd do some knitting tonight on stream, but then earlier I was working on this stuff and decided I wanted to keep working on this stuff. And the camera was already set up for the spinning wheel anyway. And this way I didn't have to clean off my desk. Bama Maid said it's asada with gravy, brown gravy, and usually it cooks all day. Ooh, that sounds yummy. She said this was a faster version, and he left it on the stove going and didn't mind it, and the meat got a little charred. Not completely burnt crispy, and I was able to fix it. Well, good thing you were there and he wasn't left to his own devices. Birding Mom says, I'm assessing works in progress. I have 2 socks I should cast on. One is for this weekend, mod duties, and one in memory of Cat Bordy. Is it one of her patterns? I always meant to pick up a couple of her patterns at Maryland Sheep and Wool back in the day. And then right after she passed, there was someone who still was running her booth there. But I don't remember if that was more than just that next year. Bama Mate said, but still, you'd think since he's seen me do the emails that cook all is that auto care? The emails that cook all day. I'm in there checking it every 10 to 15 minutes. I don't just disappear, and the frustration levels are high right now. Yeah. I said spa day, or even, spa a couple of hours. Soak in a hot tub and then get a massage. Go out, have a margarita at meals. Hey, you have a carrot. Oh, you're on a device, right? I was going to say, my computer doesn't have a carrot. So I finished the second Nightmare Before Christmas sock, and the two don't match. I don't know what I was thinking. I think part of the problem was I had changed the needles several times during the course of those socks. So I think it's fine until I think I didn't make the heel flap long enough, so I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm gonna have to rip that at least part way out. But I was just feeling too frustrated, so I just went ahead and cast on Hermione out of the Krampus yarn. Krampus? Birding Mom said, I used to get a mani-pedi just to have an hour plus to myself and turn off my mom brain. Bama Maid said, I'd settle for a couple of hours where I can just ... drive and not talk to anyone and not have anyone follow me when I have to pee. Birding Mom said, LOL, a true nightmare. Well, if it wasn't plague times, I would say drop her off at a drop-in daycare sort of a thing. And then just go drive for a couple of hours. then go back and pick her up. Or drop her off drop her off at a drop-in daycare and then just go home and be alone in the house. But alas, plague times. When when Richard and the housemate both started working midnights, it was for about the first 6 months. It was so amazing to have. So I was like staying up all night. Well, I stay up all night anyway, but I mean, I was, even if I felt like going to bed earlier, I was staying up just because I was alone, and it was wonderful. Because before that, they had been on like opposite shifts, so there was always somebody here, and I was never in the house alone. And now we're kind of back at that. And now, since the child lives with us too, there is almost always somebody here, which the cat appreciates. Like if I get home from work and Richard and Anya are both at work and housemate is sleeping, as far as the cat is concerned, she's home alone, and that is not okay. Birding Mom said, I've had cat spring thaw socks in my queue since before my Rav account. I had to order the Interweave mag for the pattern. I'd have to look to see which one that is. A friend of mine knit the shark socks, and those were very cool. Mama Maid said, also, my dog was just dreaming about something and had her tongue out, and it was so cute and funny, but as soon as I got my camera, she woke up and looked at me. Well, of course, they always do. Birding Mom said, my husband knew that when I said I needed alone time, he was expected to take them somewhere or let me go somewhere. Yes, that's a well-trained husband. Mama Maid said, that's why I'm up now. I get to watch your stream and everybody is asleep. Except for the dryer going, it's quiet. Well, happy to be of service. And Mama Maid said, yeah, he usually does that for me. And he did take her outside a couple of hours today after the burnt lunch incident. So is it just that she's in an emotional place right now where she's driving you like fucking crazy? Or is there more stuff? And if there is, do you need to talk about anything? I mean, because, mommy overload is definitely a thing. Birding Mom said, I'm not sure about well trained. Just had been through enough mom meltdowns that it was just easier to take the kids for an hour than deal with me. I see. It's that old happy wife, happy life adage. Veggie says, alone time. Where is it? How do I get it? Hi, Veggie. How are you? Although I had a long time at work today, it was really slow after after being absolutely slammed yesterday. Yesterday was about as much as I could handle by myself. But my boss had gone home at noon because the day started slow. We didn't think much was going to happen. Of course, as soon as she left, like everybody in 3 counties came in the door. Mama Maid said it's just the mom overload, and he's working 6 days a week, so Sunday he is tired. Compounded slightly because the places I would have gone when he took the kids were the yarn shops, and I can't just sit there and relax right now. Yeah, and that sucks. Stupid plague times. Veggie said, saw some in-laws today. My oldest nephew is 13 now. Well, Tuesday anyway. Veggie says, masks and social distancing sucks. Yeah, I know. It's like I want to hug somebody. Somebody that doesn't live in my house. I'm getting tired of not being able to hug anybody. Birding Mom says, Mama Maid, I go to a park or scenic overlook, park in the shade, and knit while I sip a cold drink from a drive-through. That sounds like a plan. Assuming there's somewhere to leave the kid. And things were so different when I was a kid. Oh, Veggie says I need to do that already. When I was a kid, the neighborhood kids all ran as a pack. And one mom could just call another mom and say, I need to run to the grocery store. Could you keep an eye on my kid? But people don't really do that. I mean, it's everything is very different. Life is very different than when I was a kid. Mama Maid said I might be doing that next weekend. We've got a few Starbucks with decent outdoor covered areas. I don't care if I'm the weird one. I will take my wheel and just escape. Sounds good to me. I spin in public all the time. People think it's weird, fuck them. Boy, I'm on a roll tonight. I think that's my second F-bomb. Maybe third. Birding Mom said, I told my kid that I wasn't driving her car for 7 days to socially distance and not hug. Yeah, and I will see all of my family, though. My family and my husband's family are all far away, so we haven't. Yeah, I'm not gonna drive. Well, I'd be driving 7 hours. Yeah, I'm not gonna drive 7 hours to. Veggie said, haha, been thinking about taking my wheel out. Almost took it to a birthday party. I would have. Burning Mom said, LOL, when we were kids, they just threw us out the house and told us not to come back till dinner. Yes, and stay in shouting distance. As long as you could hear Mom yell, you were cool. Mama Maid said, I will take my wheel, spin my floofs, and drink my bougie non-burnt coffee drink. Her Heart's Craft says, "Hey, Raid!" Jumped into host. Huh, I didn't get a notification. But thank you. How are you doing, Her Heart's Crafts? Bomba Maid said Twitch has been eating the raid notifications today. And Twitch has not been taking me along on my own raids lately again. It's like it'll do it for a day or two and then it'll stop again. And then I'll have to be like, whoa, wait for me. While I find my way there manually. Her Heart Crafts said it was just me and my stream. Oh, I had streams like that a lot in the beginning. I was like, oh look, it's just me again. I'll just talk to myself. My first at least week, maybe 2 weeks, I spent a lot of time explaining because I was spinning the warp yarn for all of our non-existent sheep to shawl competitions for the summer. But I didn't know that yet because, it was February. So I was going into great detail about just exactly why I was spinning 6 miles of yarn. Yeah, Bomba Maid said, I don't even see the host notification. Nope, I don't see it either. Birding Mom asked, are there parks you can take them to and spin while they play, Bomba Maid? Her Heartcraft said, well, I had one, then she left for bed, then my mod popped in for like 10 minutes, then left. Well, it's a very quiet, well, it's picking up now. It was very quiet here for like the first, how long have I been on? About the first 45 minutes. It's just been about the last 15 minutes that there's been more than like 3 of us here. Bomba Maid said it depends how her school stuff goes during the day. Lately, by the time she gets through the day's work, it's 3-ish and stupid hot out. Well, bring them up here. It's not hot here right now. 65 was the high this afternoon. And Her Heart's Crafts said, also, thank you, Birding Mom. Bomba Maid said, which would have been even if she was in school face to face. Only reason it was decently cool today was because we have storms rolling in. I'm blaming our much cooler temps on fires. I think all them fires are affecting our climate this year. Her Heart Crafts says, yeah, night streams for me has been low on viewers, though tomorrow I'll be doing 3 different streams. Why are you doing 3 different streams tomorrow? Bomba Maid said I survived when she was in school by taking my youngest to my brother's and letting her play her little heart out for a few hours, then getting back in time for the bus. But can't do that right now because she's got a log time in school and keep up with it. Yeah. Her Heartcraft said I'm off work and I want to draw and maybe origami, and then Wizard. Oh, then more Wizard 101. I'm going to test what time is best for my viewers. Well, that's a good idea. Oh, I just changed it. Is right here now. But thank you. Veggie said, I think I saw the low was going to be 60-ish tomorrow. Yeah, our high today was like 65. Bama Maid said, or maybe not yet. It was behind my chat window. Veggie said it's 69 right now. And Bama Maid says, ooh la la. Her Heartcraft said, I know some of my viewers are in different time zones and also out of the U.S. Yeah. Most of mine are in different time zones or out of the U.S. I'm going to see what it is here right now. Is 42 right now. And supposed to get down to 38. I take that back. 37. Her Heartcraft says it's 50 here outside. Low tonight is 46. Birdie Mom says most of your viewers are in Texas. You know, it sometimes feels like that. Her Heartcrafts, remind me what part of the country you're in. Because, you know, Indiana, that's right. Because, you know, I can't remember nothing. Bama Maid said there are dozens of us in Texas. Dozens, I tell you. Her Heartcraft says, I have to go to bed now, though it's 12:14 a.m. here and I'm tired. Yeah, I hear ya. I came home from work yesterday and slept 14 hours. I guess I was tired. So have a good night, Her Heartcrafts. It was nice to see you. Sleep well and get good rest. Bama Maid said, I'm actually going to call it an early night. Y'all have a good evening. Have a great rest of stream. Glad y'all got to see me and don't do anything I wouldn't want to watch. Okay. Is that a dare? You get some sleep too. Good sleep and good rest. Because rest will help. Even though it's hard. Her Heartcraft said, today I mainly slept today. Good night, Her Heartcrafts. Good night, Bomb and Maid. Burning Mom said, LOL. Night Bomb and Maid. Thanks for carte blanche. Oh, smarty pants. I watched that the other night. I had to giggle at myself. You are an excellent clipper. Hey, Knots and Stitches, how you doing? Birdie Mom said, I love how impatient you are in the clip. Come on, get to the scary part. Knots and Stitches says, doing okay. Yeah, me too. I'd like to be doing better, but I'm doing okay. and I'm very much enjoying this spin. Veggie says, and then le gasp, she cut the yarn. Yeah, and having watched that, it's a lot less terrifying now, and I think I'm going to actually give it a try. But not on the Hermione socks. Because I'm going to do the fancy dancy heel the way she does it, at least for the first pair. I'm finding, though, that the pattern is sort of lost in my yarn. But it's probably too soon to tell, because I only did one pattern repeat before I did the sock. Devin Articulate says, hey, these colors look so pretty. Thank you. This is from a colorway from Mountain Colors. Mountain Colors Incorporated, on 80% Targhee wool, 10% bamboo, and 10% silk. And it is lovely. I can't wait to see it plied. And I have no idea what it's going to be yet. It's very yummy. Veggie said, I like the heel for Hermione's. I think I do too, but I'm going to make the heel flap longer because I'm tall from the floor to where my ankle bends, you know, at the top of my heel. And it doesn't look like it's, and looking at some of the project pictures, it doesn't look like it's long enough. So, well, it might be for some people. I don't think it's gonna. So I'm gonna make that longer. And I did it as an ankle sock. Although I did do one repeat of the pattern. So what, like 4 rows between the ribbing and the beginning of the heel flap. She sets up her heel flap like completely backwards to how I do it. But I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna follow the pattern, and it's fine. It's just not the way I do it. Veggie said, but I like heel flap and gusset. I do too. And I would say probably 99% of the socks I've ever knitted in my whole life have had a heel flap and gusset. Okay, spin some more. Knots and Stitches said, I'm untangling yarn barf. Oh, I'm sorry. Birding Mom said the pattern needs at least 12 rows to start showing the columns it makes. Okay, so I'll see it on the foot then. I was telling Bauman Maid I was surprised that I actually kind of like the knit 1 purl 1 ribbing. Usually I always prefer knit 2 purl 2 because my knit 1 purl 1 always has always looked wonky. You know, like the stitches don't settle right, or like I don't know what I'm doing or something. Birding Mom said, if you saw my Insta with the fall post a few days ago. That sock had the Hermione's pattern. I did not see it. I'll have to go actually look at your Instagram because a lot of stuff doesn't end up in my feed, until like a week later. And I'm like, hey, why am I seeing this now? Devin says, I love ribbing so much. Mine can look a little wonky too. Yeah, but I decided that I was going to follow this pattern mostly as written. I think the only thing I'm changing is the length of the sock because I've been in ankle sock mode lately. So I decided to do the Knit One Purl one, and it actually looks really good. So maybe I'll do that on some other socks, just for yucks. It's a raid! Hey, raiders. Is it Nico Stitch or Nico Stitch? Welcome, raiders. Shark Popsicles. Who else is here? Crafty Aaron. How are you guys? Okay, how are you guys? And how was your stream, Nico Stitch? Why, thank you, Shark Popsicles. We're just a bunch of hooligans. And we all think we're funny. So, we have a good time. While spinning yarn and knitting socks and such. Veggie said, uh-oh, I fed a Gorgon. Why did you feed a Gorgon, Veggie? Nico Stitch said, good stream. I do cross-stitching mostly and started a new one. I didn't fall asleep in my 3 hours and I only had 2 frogs. Did you typically fall asleep in your 3 hours? Devin says, ha ha ha, chill patter. Nico Stitch says, lately I've been getting more tired faster and thus weirder at least. I'm hearing that a lot. And I was just telling folks that I came home from work yesterday and slept 14 hours. And, that never happens. But I feel better. I felt better today after I, got up, and I would have, I had to work today, and if my alarm had not gone off, I would have slept longer. Shark Popsicle said he never really falls asleep, but he definitely gets really sleepy near the end of his weekday streams. Devin said, I've done that before. I felt better after too. My husband does that from time to time. He deprives himself of sleep all the time. Never gets enough sleep. And then every once in a while he'll crash and burn and sleep 12 hours. Veggie said, they asked for food before the feeding time? It was just a Pringle chip. So I take it that's like feeding a gremlin. Devin said 16 hours. I was my most was okay. It made me feel both gross and comfy. Yeah, if I sleep a really long time, I'll wake up with a headache and feeling just out of sorts, Like I don't know, like something isn't quite right in the world. But I didn't have that today, so I don't know why. Well, thank you for the follow, Nickel Stitch. Nickel Stitch says, I am going to learn to crochet soon. Cool. What sorts of things are you hoping to crochet? Like, garments and blankets or amigurumi? I think if I said that right. I get my syllables all in the wrong order. Birding Mom said, Sundays used to be my day to sleep in, but lately my family has decided it's a great morning to call early. Well, tell them to stop it. Nickel Stitch said, only animals and pop culture references. Well, cool. I don't crochet much anymore. But I have 3 scrappy blankets. No, 5 scrappy blankets in progress using leftovers of sock yarn. So, every once in a while when I have some scraps saved up, I pull those out and work on them a little bit. Devin says, crochet is so relaxing. Veggie says gorgonzola chips. And Crafty Aaron says, LOL, Veggie. Devin says, ha ha ha, get them told, Birding Mom. Would that be your wee bairns that are calling you early? Shark Popsicle says Nick doesn't want to make wearables because he doesn't wear anything warm ever. He's a weirdo. We've been together 7+ years, and I've been knitting since before we met, and he refuses to let me knit something for him. Well, if he's not going to wear it, it'll save you the effort. Yeah, my husband won't. We've been together 20 years, and I've never knit anything for him. Because he's got just a particular kind of weird socks that he likes. And he's got a big bathrobe he puts on when he's cold. But he works in professional kitchens and it's hot. So, he very rarely would ever want anything warm to wear. Birding Mom says, God no, my kids text. I'd freak out if they called if something terrible was happening. It's my parents, cousins, and sister. Yeah, mine all know better. I think my mom always calls late, and I think that she's still in the habit from back in the days when it was cheaper to call at night, when you had to pay for long distance calls. Devin said my partner wants a jumper so bad. Well, I'm going to actually get around to knitting a sweater for myself once I dye all the roving and spin all the yarn. Because the last sweater I knit for myself was either the late 80s or the early 90s. There. What the heck is my Streamlabs is being difficult. It needs to stop right now. Devin says I was born around then. Sorry, Nickel Stitch. I accidentally banned you for a second, but you're unbanned now. Streamlabs was being difficult. Birding Mom says we will do a sweater knit along when you are ready. All right. You guys gonna all do a combo spin with me too? That might require some people here to learn how to spin. Nico Stitch said I'm used to getting banned accidentally. I'm so sorry. Veggie says, cool meeting. 15 minutes, I'll bring snacks. Birding Mom says to Devin, oh man, let me get my cane and hobble out of here. Yeah, I thought I was going to need to get mine out on Friday. But I could mostly walk today. Devin said I use a walking stick. I'll join you. Birding Mom. Nico Stitch says, on that note, I need to sleep. Boo. Alarms. Good night. Good night, Nico Stitch. Thanks for the raid and thanks for hanging out. Sleep well and get good rest. Come back and hang out anytime. Devin says, good night. Birdie Mom says good night. And Veggie says good night. Thanks for hanging out. Devin says, when I can't sleep, this is my favorite place to be. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Happy to be of service. Birdie Mom says, oh, hey, hi, Crafty Aaron. I didn't see you. And Shark Popsicles, I don't think I said hello either. Birding Mom said, okay, I'm going to have to watch another video on using a nose to pin. This cake looks like a flying saucer. It's a matter of where you place the tops and the bottoms of the wraps, if that makes sense. My balls come out kind of egg shaped because I wrap high. But I can make them more flat, like a ball winder cake winder cake, if I make them lower, if that makes sense. Birding Mom says, yes, thanks. I think this one is beyond hope. It took me a while. Lots and lots of practice. When I was first learning, people donate a lot of yarn to the Weaver's Cabin, and a lot of times it's, acrylic in the pole skeins. And I would just sit and wind those into center pole balls, because they seem to take up less room, and they don't get all collapsy like the center pole skeins of acrylic get. If people pull from the middle, they get very collapsy and turn into yarn barf. But I wound lots and lots and lots of those into balls, and that was my practice. Crafty Aaron says, "Hey Dina, sorry I stepped away for a minute." Crafty Aaron says, "I have never used a Nostapin, so definitely can't help with that." They are a very clever bit of low tech. Crafty Aaron said, "I'm sure they're way better than a TP roll. But you know what? A TP roll works fine. I typically use my thumb. I used to use like a ginormous knitting needle or one of the ends of my nitty knotty. And then I discovered that I could use my thumb, and that's, because I can't misplace that. Small fiber tools, on the other hand, have a tendency to disappear in my house. Burning Mom said you would think winding string around a stick would be easy and not require special instructions. Crafty Aaron said I usually use my thumb now too. For some reason, spinning is making my knee complain. To stretch it out. Oh, I remember something else I was going to tell you guys. I ordered some sample skeins, single skeins, from Dyer Supplier to check them out. I got the massively sparkly silvery or whatever it's called, and then the regular sparkle, and just I think it's a 75-25 merino nylon, just to compare that to the stuff from other sources. And geez, I have to look. I can't remember what I got. Okay, 75-25 merino nylon, sparkle sock yarn, marled sock yarn, BFL fingering superwash, and silvery sock. So I got one each of those, and I will dye them and see what I like and what I don't like. Crafty Aaron said, does it usually give you knee pain? Not usually. I have a lot of issues with both my knees. But normally spinning doesn't bother it. But tonight it kind of, every once in a while it will. But the last couple of days I have been having some issue with my joints, which is significantly better after having slept 14 hours yesterday. I think it's mostly just because our weather changed so drastically. Going from warm weather to cold weather hits me really hard and takes me a little while to adjust. Birding Mom says more golden paste. Well, yes, and I had like 3 or 4 days where I was really slack on the golden paste, but I am back on it. I had some in scrambled eggs earlier, and we'll probably have a cup of golden milk before I go to bed. Crafty Aaron said, "Yay for good sleep. I was going to ask if the weather had suddenly changed." Yes, it suddenly changed very drastically. The last couple of days, we've been having highs in the 60s. And it's supposed to get down to like 34, 35 tonight. I mean, we're only a few degrees away from snow in the middle of the night here. And this is way too early. And I'm guessing that all the smoke in the atmosphere, even though we're all the way on the opposite side of the continent, I'm guessing that that's having something to do with the weather having cooled off dramatically. And I think I'm going to, after I get some money, I am going to order I'm gonna place an order for some dyes that that Dharma doesn't carry and that I have liked in the past. I think I'm going to get some rhodamine red and some polar red. And when I ordered the when Dharma started carrying Lanicet dyes, I ordered just the primaries and the black. But I think I'm going to order some navy and some brown. And I can mix navies and browns, but those are really nice right out of the jar. So Birding Mom, have you been doing any dyeing? I have not, because the Veggie says peer persuasion to dye fiber so I can spin it. K, thanks, bye. Yes, I need to do some dyeing, but Housemate has his sleep schedule has twisted itself around to the point where he's sleeping during the time I would be dyeing, and I have to set my table up in the dining room, which is right outside his bedroom door. And setting up the table is very noisy. So I think I'm going to put it out on the back porch or on the back deck tomorrow earlier in the day while he's awake, and just leave it sitting up for the next several days, because I don't have any obligations on Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, except for you guys. And then maybe on Tuesday and Wednesday, or maybe even tomorrow, depending on how I'm feeling when I get back from the Weaver's cabin, because I'm going to be on the floor under a loom for several hours. And so, that's also part of what I climbed inside a loom on Thursday. and sat in awkward positions for a couple of hours and then very nearly couldn't get out. I was worried that I was going to have to text somebody to come rescue me. He's like, I'm stuck in a loom and I can't get out. Tomorrow shouldn't be as bad because there's going to be somebody there. I'm showing her how to do the tie-ups on a countermarch loom because she bought a countermarch loom and she doesn't know how to do the tie-ups. So, I don't know if I'm going to climb in there, although this loom is a lot easier to get in and out of. It's built to be climbed inside and the other one wasn't. I don't know yet if I'm going to have her climb in there and coach her through it, because then she'll get a little bit of kinesthetic memory. I mean, I know that I learn best that way. I'm going to give her the option. And so if she's in there, she's going to be doing all of the awkward, positions. And I can just lay on the floor in the front and hand things to her. But we're going to be there during a time when the cabin isn't usually open. And I'm going to leave the door shut and locked and the downstairs lights off so, tourists don't think they can come in. Because once I get down on the floor, especially if I end up being the one inside the loom, I don't get up very well. Birding Mom said, I'm still setting up. I have to wind test skeins and winding a bunch of 5-gram minis. Oh, hi, kitty. Yeah, I still have to figure out what I'm doing for the swap. There are minis to be wound. Crafty Erin said, oof, that explains some of the pain. And then she says, I wish I could help you, Dina. I oddly love winding minis. And she says, I say do that. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to offer her the option and hopefully she'll take it. Birding Mom says, no, make her do it, because most people are like, no, that's okay, and then they forget. Yeah, I'm going to strongly suggest it. Birding Mom says, you're hired, Crafty Erin. Who says, it's so true, you learn so much better that way. Yeah. And, I know that not everybody is a kinesthetic learner. But, I think that there's definitely an advantage to learning by doing. Haha. She responds to Birding Mom, sweet, fly me up. I'd be like, nah, I'm not getting in any airplanes right now. No planes, no trains, and no buses. Because I'd be the one that got the damn virus. And we don't need that. Birding Mom said I have to fly back from Ohio. Oh, man. Remind me when you're going to be in Ohio. That's sometime next month, right? October? Crafty Aaron said, yeah, I'm also high risk, so no travel for me either now. Yeah, we had intended to go visit family in Michigan this summer. And then we thought, well, maybe we'll just go during the holidays. And now it's like, yeah, I don't think so. Maybe next year. Birdie Mom said, I'm planning that now. Tomorrow I jump the car and then we see. And she says, yes, Crafty Aaron, my daughter just moved to Ohio and I'm taking her car out to her. Crafty said, oh, congrats to her on the move. And she says, just be safe. I need to be able to hug you again, remember? Birdie Mom said, yes, she's much happier out there. And Crafty Aaron says, oh, that's so great. And see, that gives Birdie Mom an excuse to come out this way so we can have socially distant coffee maybe. Raiders! Hey, Raiders. Fickle Crafter just raided with a party of 12. Welcome, Raiders. We may be fickle, but hope this raid leaves you tickled. Yay! Well, thank you for the follow. Yay! Hello, Fickle Crafter. How are you? How was your stream and what were you up to tonight? Birdie Mom says, I get socially distant coffee with both you and Ashley. Oh, that's so cool. I wish we could all three do it, but she's too far away. Pick her up, bring her here. Oh, but you couldn't drop her back off. She'd have to fly. Fickle Crafter said, I am well. I finished knitting the fast lane shawl tonight. Even woven my end. Woven your ends? I'm totally impressed. That's my least favorite thing to do. I would like to hire someone to weave in all my ends. Ace397 said, sadly, I have to bounce because it's after 1 a.m. here and I desperately need to sleep, but this spinning looks awesome. Hope to catch another one of your streams sometime. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming on in. Have a really good night. Sleep well. Fickle Crafter said, and my community completed the community challenge of making me do an end weaving stream. You're welcome, Ace. I'm thinking, I could do something like that. These peeps can hold me accountable for weaving my ends in. I need a yarn needle over on this table. This is a recently relatively new setup, and I still don't have everything I need over here. I need to migrate some stuff. And thank you for that follow as well. Fickle Crafter said, so that's going to happen in the near future to my pain. And still need to block the shawl. Yeah, I also hate blocking things. I need to hire somebody for that too. I'm doing okay tonight. The current spinning is a blend. It's 80% Targi wool, 10% bamboo viscose, and 10% silk. So what you're seeing is the bamboo, because bamboo is a cellulose fiber, so it needs a fiber reactive dye to take color, whereas the wool and the silk take the acid dye and leave the bamboo white, so you get that little bit of a tweedy look. And thank you for that follow as well. Thank you, you guys. And it's absolutely yummy to spin. Do you spin, Fickle Crafter? Says it sounds like it will have great drape too. I think so. I think it's going to. Says I do not spin. No more new crafts allowed. Yeah, I'm at that place too. No more. For now. I might change that rule eventually. and I have no idea what it's going to be. I just saw it at the yarn shop and went, ooh. Uh-oh. We're late for a break. I'll finish this handful of fluff and then we'll take about a 10-minute break or so. So I can get up and stretch out these stiff joints. Alrighty. Fickle Crafter said, sorry to raid and run. I have to get to bed early for work tomorrow. Good night. Well, thanks for the raid and thank you for hanging out, and have good sleep and have a great day tomorrow. And, come back again sometime and visit if you like. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, 10-ish, maybe a smidge longer. And then I'll be back. So if you can hang out through the break, I'll see you when I get back. If you need to take off, have a great night, and see everybody soon. Okay, why are we blurry? Okay, let me mess with the camera for a second. Oh, that didn't do it. There, that is better. How is everybody? And I looked for another bobbin, and it appears I do not have any empty bobbins. So I don't know. I don't know if all this is going to fit. You know, well, it wasn't a braid. It wasn't braided. But it said it was 4 ounces. This portion of roving says that it's 4 ounces. I thought it seemed kind of big. And it is definitely filling up the bobbin. This is not quite half. Knots and Stitches says, I give up on Yarn Bar for now. I don't blame you. I didn't mind untangling yarn when I was getting paid to do it. When I was a student assistant in the weaving room in college, spent a lot of time untangling yarn for other students. Oh, I guess I didn't finish that thought. I didn't mind when I was getting paid for it, but when I'm not getting paid for it, it gets old fast. Knots and stitches says normally don't mind, but it is late and I think over half of the 200 gram skein is yarn barf. Oh man. Which is part of the reason I generally work from the outside of the ball or skein. And people will be like, well, but that's a center pole. It's like, yeah. Yes, I do. But I don't want to deal with yarn barf. So usually the only time I pull from the center is if I am plying from both ends of a center pull ball. Knots and Stitches says, about to go to bed because the alarm is going off in about 4 hours. Oh man. I know what that's like. I do that way too often. Okay, well, get some sleep. Good sleep and good rest as best you can in 4 hours. And have a good day tomorrow. Okay, well, I have this much room left on the bobbin, and I have this much roving. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of don't really see it all fitting on there. Anybody have any comments? since this is supposed to be a fractal, I would like to have either all of it fit on one bobbin so I can wind it into a center pole ball, or spin the second half on a different bobbin. But I neglected to empty any bobbins. I suppose I could wind one off now. What time is it? Oh, we have time. Okay, so I'll empty this bobbin. You think maybe knitting? Would you rather I knitted? Because I could do some knitting. Or are you saying you don't? Okay. Y'all are saying you don't want to watch me wind a ball of yarn? Birding Mom said, no, you can do whatever you want. I don't spin, so I don't have great ideas. Well, if I switch to knitting, I'm going to have to unmount the camera from the tripod and mount it onto the desk clamp and fiddle around with stuff. And I'd really rather not do that in the middle of a stream. But I can move stuff around enough so that Birding Mom can see how I wind my center pole ball on my thumb pinna. Birding Mom says, we are so complicated. Okay, so I start out, well, I know you're using a Nosta pin, but for anybody who might want to try on their thumb, so that it's not so tight that I cut off my circulation, I start wrapping it on 2 fingers. And see how I go all the way from the bottom all the way to the top. And it'll be flat and mushy to begin with. And of course it's not. Is that better? I think that's better. But so if you were on the Nosta pin, you'd have, like, the end of my thumb would be sticking out. But I go from right up against the Nosta pin on the bottom to right up against it on the top. Does that make sense, Birding Mom? And if you wanted it to be flatter, then you come more at an angle. But I go right up over the top. Just because I like that, more of an egg shape. but I still end up with a little bit flat on the top and the bottom, so it will still sit. Trying to decide if I hear a train in the distance. I think I might. A train or a tornado, but it's too dang cold for a tornado. Yep, it's a train. Yeah, now it's starting to get its round shape. And you'll see me scooch it around on my thumb. If I had it on a Nustapin, I could just turn the Nustapin. Yep, train! At 1:55 a.m. Whatever happened to the 11:30 and midnight trains? I'm gonna need to wind all of the yarn that I have plied, and all the white yarn I've plied into hanks, so that can be on the to be dyed list. That was weird. I don't usually have a weak spot like that. Oh, there the furnace is coming on. Must be cold outside. Chickens are probably outside muttering about the weather. Boy, my arms look pretty pasty white tonight, don't they? That must be the lighting. Can't possibly really be that pale. Alrighty. Hey, Veggie. It got quiet. Hmm. Spinning ASMR, I suppose. Birdie Mom is counting. Veggie says, so how do you know if you have too much twist in your spin? Well, if you're getting little corkscrews, you've got way too much twist. But one of the things that you can do is, if I can get it back over here. Okay, double your yarn and let it twist back up on itself. And if that seems balanced, if the ply feels and looks like you want your ply to be, then you're good. Oh, do you have little corkscrews? Little twisty piggy tails? I mean, you can get all technical and use a twist gauge. I can't remember if that's what she calls it. Hip Strings has now I'm not sure if they come as a set. I think you can get them as a set or individual, and Bauman Maid has some. And where she's got one little piece that's a spinning control card, and it shows you different like angles of twist, and the more steep your angle of twist is, the tighter your yarn is. Usually if I'm getting overspun, it's because I'm treadling too fast for what I'm doing. So see if you can just slow down your treadling. Crafty Aaron says, highly recommend Hip Strings. Me too. Jill is absolutely awesome. She lives not too terribly far from me, and I've been able to take a couple of classes with her. And my local yarn shop sells her stuff. I have several of her supported spindles, and one of the classes I took with her was supported spindling, and it was basically validation that I was doing it right, because I was doing supported spindling, but I was doing a park and draft, and I didn't believe that was what I was supposed to be doing. And she was like, oh no, in many parts of the world that's how they spin. So I wasn't doing anything wrong. But she's a very cool person, as is her husband. And I catch their lives on Facebook or on YouTube from time to time. Veggie said, I've looked at getting a spinner's control card. I think they have one I like. I've got some of their wool. Yes, I love her blends. Unicorn Seek's Soulmate is my favorite. Every time I can get my hands on some of that, I get some. The first time I ever met them, she was vending at, there was one year where there was a very small fiber festival here in my little town. And I had a booth, and Jill had a booth, and that was the first time I ever met her and saw her spindles in real life. I had seen them on Etsy. And her littlest was teeny tiny, maybe a newborn, but very much an infant. And Nick was wearing a kilt and had the baby in a sling, and I thought, oh, these are cool people. Veggie said, well, duty, some of it's going to be overspun. Maybe it'll fix itself with plying. Plying will take out a little bit of the twist. But if I find that I'm, for whatever reason, treadling like a maniac and getting over twisted, you can just stop and let some of the, undo some of the twist. Does that make sense? Crafty Aaron said they are great. Yeah, they're very cool. And if you're ever at a fiber event and you see a Tyrannosaurus Rex spinning on a spinning wheel, that's probably Nick. Veggie said, I don't catch it sometimes. The groove is too strong. Crafty Aaron said he did that almost every night at SSK. And Veggie says the treadle zone. Yeah, I hear ya. Just take a deep breath. Or several. Birdie Mom said Gwen put on her T-Rex costume and spun with him. It was hilarious. Veggie says, silly humans thinking we invented spinning. It was the dinos. Probably. See, one of the reasons that, see, I've been spinning long draw as my draft of choice for so many decades that when I try to spin with the, the inchworm worsted method, I get really overspun. I have to be I have to focus really, really hard on treadling really, really slowly. It's just easier to do a supported long draw for me. So that's typically how I spin wool, at least. Veggie said, I just want to go fast, lol. I have a friend who spins on one of the ginormous Canadian production wheels. And she treadles so slowly that the wheel barely keeps going around. And when I spin on those wheels, they just go ahead and yank the yarn right out of my hand. It's like, oops. Probably need to slow down. But if you're finding that you want to treadle fast, try a long draw. Spin from the fold, pull off a staple length. Trying to show you. Pull off a staple length, fold it in half over your finger, and spin from the fold. Try that and see if that works any better for you. And you don't have to do like a traditional long draw. Like I do a supported long draw. It gives you, the supported long draw gives you a little more control. Gives you a little more control over the twist and how fast the twist is moving up into the drafted fibers. Hey Rambo, how are you? It has been a while, hasn't it? Veggie says, I'll look into that. Thanks. Yeah, there's probably a ton of videos. Rambo says, I'm good, just driving back home from Houston. What were you doing in Houston, if it's okay to ask? Business or pleasure? Yeah, I'm feeling more and more confident that this was not gonna all fit on that other bobbin. And once it's all said and done, I'm gonna have to weigh this because it just seems like way too much fiber to have really been 4 ounces. Although it could be that the silk and bamboo content just gave it more bulk. Rambo says business. Are you driving as we speak? It says it's a 9-hour drive, but I'm only 2 hours away. That's a pretty long drive. It's been a really long time since I drove that far. Rambo says it was terrible there. What was terrible? The weather, the people. Oh no. Rambo says everything. This girl I shadowed was batshit crazy. Were you able to get what you needed out of the experience? Or does it feel like it was wasted? Veggie says, hey, I'm right here, lol. Rambo says, no, lol, wasted. Oh, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. Says she made everything so depressing, so I wasn't myself. Rambo says it was so toxic. She treated me 2 times but says she was joking. I don't think I understand. Oh, Crafty Aaron says threatened? And Veggie says treated like crap? Threatened. Okay. Wow. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, Birding Mom says, wow, that's awful. Unprofessional at the least, and possibly illegal. So, Rambo, are you okay? Says, I think she has issues because I was talking about my childhood and asked about her childhood, and just her mom left her at her grandma's house. Ah, yeah. Crafty Aaron said, I'm sorry, but childhood trauma is still not a reason to be an ass. That's for sure. They have therapy for that. You know, and I'm not like making light of it. I did my years in therapy. But yeah, that's not an excuse. Veggie says, especially as an adult, yeah. Crafty Aaron said, exactly as an adult, so many people have had their own problems and traumas, but we're not all mean to everyone. Exactly. Rambo said, so I got my job back that I abandoned, lol. Oh, okay. Was this going to be training for starting a new job? Or was it supposed to be? Well, I'm glad you got your job back. Same career, different company. Okay. Well, I'm glad you were able to get your job back. Because that would have sucked to be treated that way and then, and then face unemployment. Rambo said, I'll have to send some videos in the Discord. of things I recorded. Okay, you can do that. So, were things okay before you talked about childhood, or was it weird from the beginning? No, it was crazy from the beginning, second day. One has to wonder how she would be able to keep her job if she acts like that. Unless the whole environment is toxic and she just blends right in. Alrighty. It is now, according to my computer, 3:02 a.m. here on the in the eastern eastern part of the U.S. So that's time. That's quitting time. Um, I will be back tomorrow night, about 11 p.m. Eastern time in the U.S. Um, and should be here until this same time tomorrow night. Anyways, barring any unforeseen circumstances. So, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me and for being awesome and for making my life better. And have a good night if you're in a part of the world where it's nighttime. Sleep well. Have an awesome day if you're in a part of the world where it's daytime. And I love you guys. Hopefully I'll see you again soon.